Tyrone Power made a lot of noise as a movie star in the beginning of his career. Fans couldn't get enough of his good looks, charming smiles, and playing skills. He always gave his all as an actor because he was driven and wanted to do well. He gave too much when he was 44, which was a shame. Power died on set after ignoring important medical signs about a disease that could kill her. Tyrone Power Sr. was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, in 1914. His father, American stage and film star Tyrone Power Sr., was born in England, and his mother were both American. Ann Power was Tyrone's sister. She was born in 1915, after the family moved to California. Power was the queen of the theater. Along with his parents, his great-grandfather was also in the theater business. From 1797 to 1841, he was an Irish singer and comedian. The actor Laurence Olivier is connected to him through his great-grandmother on his dad's side, Anne Gilbert. Power was also related to author Evelyn Waugh through his grandma on his dad's side, the actress Ethel Lavenue. Sir Tyrone Guthrie was the first director of the Stratford Festival in Canada, and the Guthrie Theatre in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The talented actor was connected to both of them through his father's first cousin, Nora Emily Gorman Power. His family tree was very big and full of great performers. Tyrone did not grow up in a stable home. His father wasn't there much because he was an actor and had a lot of work to do. Things would soon go badly, but more on that later. Tyrone spent more time with his mother and took a lot of her ideas to heart. His mother was a Roman Catholic, and because they were so close, Tyrone learned a lot about the church. Throughout his life and work, his faith had a big impact on his values and points of view. In 1920, when Tyrone Power was 6 years old, his parents got a divorce. His mother took him and his sister and raised them in Cincinnati. They had a hard time during this time, but it also made their relationship stronger. Tyrone's mother helped her kids deal with their feelings, gave them advice, and pushed them to follow their dreams. Tyrone had a moody goal in mind, and it grew over time. Power finished high school at Purcell High School in Cincinnati in 1931. He went to Catholic schools in Cincinnati. Power's desire grew after he graduated from high school, and he chose to become an actor like his father instead of going to college. He moved to Los Angeles to become an actor and chose to do something that no one saw coming. He decided to stay with his father and train with him, learning as much as he could about acting from one of the best actors on stage. At that point, Tyrone Sr. had done well in both silent movies and plays. His first talkie, The Big Trail, came out in 1930, and he was in it with John Wayne, who was a bright newcomer. Things went badly for Tyrone Sr., who was supposed to act in the remake of the Lon Chaney movie The Miracle Man. Dad and son wouldn't be able to spend much time together, which was sad. In December 1931, Tyrone Sr. had a heart attack while getting ready to be in The Miracle Man. He died with his son by his side. It was bad news for the actor-to-be. He didn't give up on his hopes to become a lawyer like his father, though. Even though things were hard, he kept trying to become an actor. Even though a lot of the people he knew his father well, they all turned him down for acting jobs. Things got better for him in 1932, when he had a small part in the movie Tom Brown of Culver. Power wasn't going to be a star yet, though. His work on that movie did not open up any other doors for him. He couldn't work in the movie business. Power didn't give up. As an extra in Flirtation Walk, he began playing parts in community theater. At some point, Power lost interest. He was down because he didn't have any parts, but he wasn't gonna give up. He decided to learn more instead. Arthur Caesar, Tyrone's friend, suggested that he go to New York to get practice acting in plays. He was in a number of Broadway shows, such as Flowers of the Forest, St. Joan, and Romeo and Juliet. And finally, Tyrone had a great experience. Henry King, a filmmaker, met Tyrone and was impressed by how good-looking and friendly he was. King thought Tyrone would be great in movies and suggested that Tyrone Power play the lead role in the 1936 Fox production of Lloyds of London. This was exactly what Tyrone wanted so badly, that would help his job get off the ground. There was a problem, which is too bad. Don Amici was meant to play the lead part. Tyrone wasn't a big deal for everyone who saw it. Their boss at Fox, Daryl Zanuck, wasn't sure. He didn't want to risk losing Power. He thought Amici was just what the company needed. His friends Henry King and Barbara McLean, Fox's film director, helped him see that Power was stronger than Amici. Zanuck didn't want to take a chance on Power, but he did. But let's get back to our story. Zanuck had no idea that he and Power would work together on 10 more movies. Power quickly became known for his cool attitude and strong acting after that movie. At the start of the movie, no one knew how talented he was. By the end, he was one of the biggest stars of the golden age of Hollywood for the rest of his career. People all over the world were enthralled by his skill and charm, making him a true Hollywood legend. Tyson's career kept going strong after the first movie because he kept getting lead parts in new movies. He was great at getting people to the theaters. Every movie he was in did well. The best part was that he could do many things, because he had been trained all his life. So he played lead roles in many types of movies, even love comedies like Daytime Wife and Thin Ice. It was easy for him to play action parts because he was so athletic. Another great actor and fighter, Basil Rathbone, who would fight Tyrone on TV, said that Power was one of the best swordsmen among his peers. Power was the swiftest man I've ever seen with a sword in front of a camera. Rathbone said that Tyrone could have fenced Errol Flynn into a floppy hat. Power was also in war movies like This Above All and a Yank in the RAF besides The Mark of Zorro. Besides that, he was always in action movies. He did a great job in The Black Swan, and he also did great work in Suez in Old Chicago, Blood and Sand, The Rains Came, and Son of Fury. The Story of Benjamin Blake. After that he was in a few shows. He made a lot of important musical movies, like Alexander's Ragtime Band, Rose of Washington Square, and Second Fiddle. Everyone wanted to work with Power because he was so versatile, athletic and charming. Even rival companies wanted to hire him. He was lent to MGM for their 1938 movie, Marie Antoinette. It turned out to be a bad situation. It made Darryl Zanuck mad that Fox's biggest star was only given a supporting part. He promised himself that he would never lend Power again. Because he was powerful, Zanuck would do other things too. It was on the 20th Century Fox lot that Tyrone Power met the French actress Annabella. After that, they worked together in the movie Suez. They became close, and Tyrone, who was known for going out with famous people like Sonia Heaney, Claire Trevor, Joan Woodbury, and Evie Abbott, became more interested in her. There were, however, rumors that Power was gay. In his autobiography, Scotty Bowers wrote that women fell in love with him, and that he slept with many of them. But he much prefers guys. They were getting closer, and Zanuck didn't like it. He tried to break up Power and Annabella. He told Annabella that she could make movies in Europe if she would just leave his biggest star alone. Annabelle said no, so Zanuck put her on a watch list. Tyler loved me, and Zanuck couldn't stop him, she said, or my love for Tyrone. Power and she finally got married on July 14, 1939. It wasn't what they thought it would be, but we'll talk more about that later. Power kept taking over the box office, and showed that he could change. He moved on to Technicolor movies without any trouble. The movie he was in, Jesse James, was a huge hit at the box office. The movie did get some bad reviews though. Some critics said the movie made a well-known thief seem more romantic and less real than he really was. Power was still the most popular choice among companies. Power was asked to work for other film companies, even though Zanuck didn't want to lend him out. A few of the movies that these companies wanted Power to be in were Gone with the Wind, Joe Bonaparte in Golden Boy, and Paris in King's Row. Power didn't start in these rooms, because Zanuck swore he would never break his promise. Though these movies did well at the box office, ruled the box office, and was only topped by Mickey Rooney as the second most popular movie star in 1939. But Power would soon lose his crown, and it wouldn't be because of another star. It was because of the Second World War. In 1943, Power's work life stopped all of a sudden because he had to join the military. Power joined the U.S. Marine Corps at the end of 1942, and went to their camp to start training. But Fox Studio asked that the actor be given time to finish Crash Dive, a heroic war movie that was used to recruit people for the U.S. Army. Tyrone became a pilot in his late 30s, and was eager to help the war effort by taking to the skies as soon as it was safe to do so during World War II. He had already flown 180 times by himself before he joined the war effort. Because he was good at flying, he could go through an accelerated school and get his wings in the Marine Corps. He was made a second lieutenant on June 2, 1943, after going through officers' candidate school at Marine Corps Base Quantico and boot camp at Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego. At Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, Texas, Power went through a short but tough flight training program. He was then raised to first lieutenant and given his wings. Power got praise for staying in the Marine Corps. In the June 2001 issue of Marine Air Transporter, former Marine Corps flying instructor Jerry Taylor said of him, "He was a great student who never forgot a procedure I showed him or anything I told him. Members of Power's staff who worked with him all said how much respect they had for him. Power was more than just a good actress. He did a great job at everything he did. Power did see some action in the end, but it wasn't what he was looking for. In the end, he flew cargo planes into battle zones like Okinawa and Iwo Jima. The Marine Corps didn't put him in battle because they thought he was too old to be flying during battle. In November 1945, Power came back to the United States. In January 1946, he was released from active service. He wanted to get back into playing when he got home from the war. He got the lead part in The Razor's Edge, which was based on the 1944 book of the same name by W. Somerset Maugham. In the movie, he worked with Gene Tierney, Ann Baxter, and John Payne. Power then chose to do something he had never done before. Power chose to play something darker and more complex, instead of his usual sweet, romantic, and good-looking parts. Power was going to play Stanton Carlyle in Nightmare Alley, a movie about a circus worker who became famous as a psychic and mentalist, but then had a terrible accident that got him fired. Darryl F. Zanuck wasn't sure if Power was the right choice for this part because he didn't want to hurt his public image, and was afraid that it might happen. Because of his charming personality and good looks, Zanuck was able to market Power, which has been good for the company for many years. Zanuck finally chose to let his star play the part, with Edmund Goulding in charge of the production. The movie did not do well at the box office, even though a lot of work and time went into making it a hit. The part he played got him the best reviews of his career, which is interesting. But Zanuck wasn't sure, and he promised himself that he would never give Power to a part that wasn't as fun as his usual ones. Zanuck thought Nightmare Alley was a bad thing, so when he got out of jail, he took the movie off the market. Years later, when it came out on DVD in 2005 after years of legal fights, the movie became a huge hit. Power kept shining on screen, and in 1947's Captain from Castile, he worked with Henry King in an action movie. His job as an actress was going well, but his personal life was falling apart. He was having trouble with his wife, Annabella. The couple tried to save their marriage when Power got home from the war, but they couldn't make it work. In 1948, they finally got a divorce. A lot of people tried to blame Power for his cheating. However, Annabella says in an interview that it's always hard to pinpoint the exact spot and time when a marriage begins to fall apart. "We were both very sad about it," she said, "but we knew we were growing apart. I didn't think it was his fault or mine back then, and I still don't." Soon after, he got a divorce. In January 1949, Power married Linda Christine again in Rome. Christine couldn't give birth, which made their marriage hard. She had 3 losses before she finally had 2 girls. Romana Francesca Power was born on October 2, 1951, and Taryn Stephanie Power was born on September 13, 1953. Their marriage started to fall apart around the time their second child was born. Christine said in her book that she had an affair with Edmund Purton, but she blamed her husband's cheating on the fact that they broke up in 1955. The actor's career kept going strong, and he kept making the same silly movies, but he wanted more. He wished there was another movie like Nightmare Alley. It was bad that it was over Zanuck's dead body. The way he felt got worse, and soon his normal funny roles got old for him. He didn't like any of the jobs he applied for. He said, "I'm tired and angry, and I want to do something worthwhile, like make plays and movies that have something to say. I'm sick of all the knights and armor bits that shine." Zanuck didn't like Power's new goal. He knew what worked well with Power, and didn't want to change that. So Zanuck and Power got into a very bad fight. Zanuck did not want Power to get into any more arguments, because he wanted Power to be happy and stay with Fox. Oh no, Power's movies had made a lot of money for the company. Fox also gave Power the lead role in The Robe to try to get him to sign a 3rd contract extension. After Power turned it down, Richard Burton was cast in his place. Power started to complain every time he was given a story for a new movie. He didn't want to be the lead in Lydia Bailey, so Dale Robertson got the part instead. After that, Zanuck got mad and took Power away. When Power came back, Fox let him look for work outside of Fox as long as he finished his 14-film deal with them. Fox agreed to work with Universal International to make The Mississippi Gambler, and did so making sure that he would get a cut of the money that was made. He was lucky that the movie made him $1 million. Power played the lead role in Christopher Fry's verse play The Dark is Light Enough, which took place in Austria in 1848, and was written by Fry. From November 1954 to April 1955, he took the play on the road in the US and Canada. 12 weeks were at the Amphitheater in New York, and 2 weeks were at the Colonial Theater. Tyrone Power worked for Fox on other projects. In 1955, he made the last movie under his deal with them. After that, the actor worked with Columbia Pictures on the movie The Long Gray Line with John Ford. When he left Fox, it didn't take away from his shine. He played the lead role in Columbia's hit movie The Eddie Dutchin Story. The actor kept working on stage and even went to England to get more parts. In Shaw's The Devil's Disciple, he got to play Dick Duggan. The show ran for 19 weeks at the Winter Garden in London, and for 1 week at the Opera House in Manchester. It was a great hit. Fox just couldn't stay away from their old big star. In 1957, Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises was turned into a movie by Zanuck, who was the boss of Fox. Power worked with Errol Flynn, who stirred up trouble, and Ava Gardner, who was seductive. The following year, Power continued to work on the role of accused murderer Leonard Vall in the movie version of Agatha Christie's Witness for the Prosecution, which was directed by Billy Wilder. Power's last full-length movie appearance would be in that movie. The movie did well at the box office and got good reviews when it first came out. In a 2002 article for the National Post, Robert Fulford talked about how great Power was as the shady guy who abused women all the time. Power went back to the stage in 1958 as the lead in Arnold Moss's adaptation of Shaw's 1921 play Back to Methuselah. Power got married to Debbie Menardos on May 7, 1958, 3 years after giving Christian the boot. King Vidor's epic movie Solomon and Sheba, which stars Gina Lola Brigida, was filmed in Madrid and Valdez Partera, Spain, in September 1958. Power and his wife Debbie were there. Power really liked smoking. Every day he smoked 3 to 4 packs. He most likely had heart disease that ran in his family at this point. And something terrible happened after shooting almost 75% of his scenes. He had a massive heart attack during a dueling scene with George Sanders, who was a regular co-star and friend. Died on November 15, 1958, on his way to the hospital in Madrid. He was 44 years old. A doctor said that Power died of fulminant angina pectoris that got very bad. There was power underground next to a little lake. His gravestone is in the shape of a granite bench and has the words "Good Night, Sweet Prince" written on it. It also has masks of tragedy and comedy on it. After giving birth to Power's son 2 months after he died, Debbie moved on. In the same year she married director Arthur Lowe Jr.,